Welcome, welcome, everyone. I'm Joe. I'm from the startups team here at Anthropic, and we're so thrilled to have all of you here today. We have a breakout of 6 amazing founders that have really found product market fit, building on Claude across a bunch of different industries, across agentic coding, across design, across music generation. And a lot of these startups have really seen that 0 to multi-million user journey within the past 12 months. And I know in this crowd, there's a lot of really great founders too. And so we want all of you to stay until the end of the session. We have a little surprise for all of you to be able to spin up quicker on Claude 4 in our new family of models. So without further ado, I want to bring up Kevin, who is the CEO and co-founder of Tempo Labs.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Everyone, nice to meet you. As she mentioned, my name is Kevin, one of the co-founders of Tempo, and it's an honor to be here. To kick off, I have a video that'll give you a little bit of a taste of what Tempo's all about.
I'ma be the best that you never had.
One more thing.
Awesome. So what is Tempo? At Tempo, we're building Cursor for PMs and designers. Tempo is a new type of IDE that feels more like a design tool like Figma than it does VS Code. And the whole idea behind it is to give designers and PMs the ability to collaborate with Claude to create the first draft of pull requests, and in many cases, the actual end-to-end pull request. Kind of pulling the engineer out of the loop in some cases, but if anything, making the process of working on code collaborative. As it stands today, it's really, non-engineers don't collaborate too much on code. So I'll show you a bit of a live demo of what that looks like. This is Tempo. Tempo, as you can tell, has 3 tabs: product, a PRD tab, a design tab, and a code tab. So imagine you're a PM, right? You generate an Airbnb app with Claude, and you're like, okay, great, this looks, it's a quick and dirty prototype demo, and then you pass it off to your designer, and your designer looks at the real Airbnb, and it's kind of like, this is kind of off. I need to get it pixel perfect. So you come in here, and you realize that you spent some time working on this new animated tabs header, so you can see, just like it's nice and pretty, just like the core Airbnb. So what I can do now is I can drag and drop this right into my header over here. Give that a second. There you go. We've got it in the header. And then what I can do is just rearrange this to get it in the middle. And again, every change that I'm making is actually, you can see editing the original source code in the correct position. So we're kind of like starting to make some progress. Now, clearly, these little new badges are not great. Whoever designed or created that didn't do a great job. So why don't we fix that up really quick? So I'm going to open up my DOM tree over here, which shows me everything that's in the DOM. I'll find the new badge, and I'll just click delete, just like I would. Boom. OK. We're getting somewhere close. Looks half decent. Now let's compare it to Airbnb. OK. We've got some work to do. Clearly, Claude thought we need this little text header. I'm just going to delete that like I normally would. In a design tool, traditional design tool like Figma, I'm going to delete this over here. And then I am going to, let's compare again. I'm going to move my the elements of my property grid here to the center. I'm going to add a little bit of gap between them. And then maybe here I'm going to remove this tailwind padding. And then I'm going to compare to core Airbnb and then the site that I built in Tempo. And now you get an idea of how PMs, designers can collaborate together with Claude. And then again, I can enter a commit message, push this to to GitHub. And actually, the really cool thing is that this code isn't running locally on my machine. It's actually running on a Docker container in the cloud. So this whole thing is collaborative. I can send a link to someone just like Figma, and they can come and collaboratively code with me and with Claude. There you go. Tempo is, again, it's an IDE for designers and developers to collaborate together on code. We already have a number of customers and have been growing extremely, extremely quickly. And what we're seeing for customers that adopt Tempo is designers truly are turning into design engineers. And we're seeing that approximately 10 to 15% of front-end pull requests are actually being able to be opened by designers directly. They're often able to do pixel pushing themselves without involving an engineer. They can just work with Tempo and with Claude directly. And in about 60% of pull requests, we see that a sizable chunk of the front-end code has been generated by designers, by PMs, and by Claude, and it actually accelerates. It's useful code that accelerates a true front-end engineer in their process of going to production. And so that's Tempo. We're imminently about to release support for Claude 4, so I invite you all to give it a shot and empower your PMs and your designers to start to collaborate with your engineers on code. Thank you.
Howdy, everybody. My name is Filev. I will start with a little bit of a past history. I built and sold software business for more than $2 billion. So I ran a team of more than 1,000 people. And despite doing that, I could tell that only about 2 to 5% of our ideas ever came to life. Because the majority of the time we spent on fairly routine work, and the larger is the company, the more of that routine is in your the bigger that routine makes part of your day job. So I fundamentally believe that we can automate at least 90% of that routine work, giving us opportunity to move 10 times faster and bring more of our ideas to life. And I personally believe that a lot of this transformation will happen this year, and we're actually observing it as we speak, including today. I think that this week actually demarks their transition into the next generation. So how only 12 months ago, the whole industry was on the first generation of AI coding assistant, so code completion, it kind of was a very nice convenience, but not a game changer to anybody. And then October last year, thanks to Anthropic, we got Claude 3.5, and that was a game changer, and that allowed us and Zencoder and Cursor and Windsurf and a lot of other players to build true coding agents inside of your IDE. So that opened up a completely new use cases, completely new scenarios. We saw usage skyrocket, 10x, 100x, and we saw people being able to do amazing things that they haven't been able to do before. And part of that revolution was the model support for tools and environment, because behind a lot of those generational changes, there are some technical capabilities that kind of unlock all of that, right? There was also move in the models from coding, quote unquote, like Olympiad-style stuff to true software engineering. And that was very, very, very important. And then, obviously, context matters. Software repositories are quite large, so it's good to have a larger support. And I think that in this year, we'll actually see transition to the next generation. For me, one of the biggest enablers there is verification. So I'm super excited about something that we haven't yet talked at this conference today is computer use. We saw rapid progress in those models, and they allow us to build proper verification, and verification is key to scaling AI and kind of delivering more fully autonomous cycle. And then the other thing is in real life, in actual production work, where you got multiple people engaged and multiple teams engaged, typically a lot of the time is wasted in what I call in between, kind of passing the ball. And so when we think about the problem, we think about software development lifecycle as a whole, not just about the coding. And that's a big part of our DNA. And so super happy to announce a couple of weeks ago came with Zen agents. So taking that concept of coding agent and extending into custom agents that you can share across your whole organization with full support for MCP, with specialized coding tools and whatnot, but you can basically deploy them across your whole SDLC, from their work on your PRD to the actual coding, to verification, to code reviews and whatnot. So that's super exciting. And I'll just basically show you a quick video, and we'll be good to go. looking forward for Anthropic to bring us MCP registry, but while that's not available, we offer you ours. So we got 100, I believe about 100 MCP servers out there, and obviously you can configure your own. And also, as we launch Zen agents, we were excited to launch the community aspects of it. So there's an MIT licensed GitHub repo where you can commit your agents, and if we approve your PR, everybody will see them. So we're excited and think that that can help kickstart the creativity process in a lot of organizations and kind of take it beyond the basic coding use, truly across the whole software development lifecycle. So thank you all.
Hi, my name is Jordan. I'm the head of AI engineering at Gamma. And at Gamma, our mission is to help bring your ideas to life, whether that's presentations, documents, websites, or even social media carousels. We do all this through AI to help build these things for you. And we love Claude. Throughout Gamma's kind of history of using AI, there's been 2 moments where a model upgrade has made significant impact to our key metrics around user satisfaction for deck generation. The first was when Sonnet 3.5 came out, and the second was when Sonnet 3.7 came out. We actually saw an 8% increase in this metric, which is something that we spent hundreds of hours trying to prompt engineer around and could not get such improvements. And one of the big reasons for this was around web search. So the built-in tool in Sonnet that we can natively use web search for and not have to use a third-party service. So I'm going to show you the difference what web search made in Gamma by showing 2 decks generated with Gamma, one with web search and one without. So this is Gamma. Gamma used AI to generate this. It used Sonnet 3.7, but it did not use web search. And as you can see, it got a lot of things wrong. This conference isn't January 22nd, 2025. It's not 3 days. I don't think these are the right speakers. So let's see what we can do with web search. So in Gamma, you can create an entire presentation, web page, document, anything from a single sentence. So I'll type in code with Claude, conference 2025. And it's going to first create an outline for me. It's going to search the web to figure out what should be in this outline, and it will inevitably find details about the Code with Claude conference and put them there. So as you can see, we're already off to a better start where we have the correct dates, we have real technical sessions, we have the right location. So this looks much better for us. And I've even gone ahead and created an Anthropic theme that we can use. So now that we have the outline generated, Gamma will take that outline and it will take the other information it has and create an entire presentation for us with hopefully the correct details. So let's check. So I think already we're off to a better start. It has the right date, has the right location, it tells us the schedule. And overall, this provides us a much better starting point if we were to, say, make a presentation or a website about this conference. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll get you to a point where you have the correct information and you're at a good starting point to actually finish your presentation. So this one change from Sonnet 3.5 to 3.7 with web search was a huge lift for us, and we're very excited to continue to use Claude and to continue to see these improvements. Lastly, we are hiring, so if you are an engineer or product or designer and are interested in working at Gamma, you can go to careers.gamma.app. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Amar Goel. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Bito. We're building hopefully the world's best AI code review platform. So as we all know, we're using all these Cursor, Windsurf, Claude code to write massive amounts of code. The amount of code that developers are writing, we think, is going to go up 10x over the next year or two. But what that means is that vibe coding, which we all talk about, does not equal vibe engineering. How do you get code that's scalable, reliable, performant, fits into your architectural design patterns? And that's still left to the code review process. But code review is not going to scale. Teams have trouble keeping up today. It's not going to scale for 10x the amount of code. Bito's built an AI code review that plugs into GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, works with over 50 languages. Our focus is really, especially with Sonnet, having a really high-quality model that provides a human-like code review, focuses on the critical things. Our biggest thing is really about more signal and less noise. How do we provide you actionable, important suggestions? Let me show it to you. So we've got a PR here. This is GitLab. It works kind of the same in all the platforms. So once you create a PR, Bito gets called, and we first start by summarizing your PR. This doesn't require any documentation or any comments. We just look at the diffs, we look at your code, and we summarize it. Then we give you a quick kind of overview of what we found in the PR. So here we found 3 actionable suggestions, some things about missing resources, a cache implementation that needs to be impacted, and then a class cast exception error, which we'll talk about. Next, we provide a change list. This change list gives you, it's kind of a double click on the summary, summarizes the key changes in your PR, and then looks at what are the diffs that comprise that. So you, as a reviewer, you get a quick double click on what actually matters in this PR. Now let's go through a couple of these suggestions. So this first one is really about this resource manager class is talking about a permanent resource leak if you don't fix this. So we give you a detailed code suggestion, which you can then one-click apply as a commit, or you can batch those commits. The next suggestion that we'll look at really briefly is this non-thread safe static cache implementation. And so we've given you a code suggestion. We're suggesting a concurrent hash map instead of a hash map to avoid race conditions. Now let's talk a little bit about this third suggestion, which I think is really important and highlights how we use Sonnet. So we really use Sonnet to provide that human-like code review and those reasoning capabilities. We've done a lot of work to really understand your code base, and that's where Sonnet kind of comes in. So if you look here, what we've got is this network data fetcher class. It has been cast to a linked list. This is Java. If you're not familiar with Java, I'll just kind of walk you through it. But really what's happening here is that this data, you can see there's a data processor constructor that then casts something to an array list, which is going to cause a class cast exception in production. Now, how did we find this? Well, what Bito has done is that it looked through the code and said, hey, for this network data fetcher, you were trying to instantiate this data processor object. This data processor object then, well, what is that? We went and looked, crawled your code, understood it through abstract syntax trees, a symbol index, and Sonnet's reasoning, and said, hey, this is cast as an array list. And so now this array list, is going to collide with this linked list and going to create an exception in production. This is probably an error that most humans wouldn't even find, let alone, most systems. Now, if we want to shift this left, we can even bring this to your IDE. So here's the same changes in your IDE. You can easily kind of right-click and say, hey, I want to review my local changes, stage commits, etc. Review those local changes. The same agent runs in your IDE, again, being driven by Sonnet. And we provide the output, and then you can one-click apply those suggestions. So that's a little bit about how it works. Maybe I'll just mention one last thing. So we have hundreds of customers, and the question is, well, what impact is this really having? So PRs are closing in 1/10 the time. So that PR that used to take 50 hours to go from open to merge, now goes open to merge in 5 hours. These are 3 companies, hundreds of engineers, and Bito's providing 80-ish% of the feedback that a PR receives. So we're taking care of the vast majority of the work, and it's really being driven by the fact that AI provides that feedback in 3 minutes or 4 minutes instead of 1 or 2 days. Thank you.
Let's talk about something different. So my name is Hayk, and I want to talk about Riffusion. So Riffusion is a generative music startup here in San Francisco, and we work on training frontier music models and then create an incredible product experience for crafting and exploring the art of music. And our song lyrics writing pipeline is powered by Claude. So our core thing that we train is a diffusion transformer. We train this from scratch, and we think it's the most creative music model in the world. We train it for quality, for diversity, for speed, for controllability. And as a fun anecdote, this square of pixels here represents 30 seconds of music in our latent space. It's kind of crazy to think about how compressed that is. But writing fantastic song lyrics is a crucial part of great songs. And current LLMs are good at very many things, but writing good song lyrics, they're still pretty cringy. But Claude is the best, for sure. And we built an agent called Ghostwriter that's essentially meant to help you write and refine song lyrics as an artist, and basically focusing on diversity, humor, taste, flowing with the music itself. And this is a crucial tool in our product. It's been used tens of millions of times now to write song lyrics. So let's go demo some stuff. If we pop over to my computer. So this is our homepage, riffusion.com. Check it out. It's really fun. There's a lot of amazing music to explore on here. I will just punch in something here. Let's say experimental indie trip hop about the feeling of getting better after being really sick. This is a song concept. So we'll pop in a couple of those. In the meantime, let me just play a song. And there's a ton of really deep editing workflows here for getting in stuff, but also just getting started. You can just type something in and start listening to music and go from there. So let me just play a song from the homepage, and then we'll go back and listen to what we made.
Don't downplay my grind, I've been clocking kills since the ink dried on that line. You ain't copping these souls, nah, limited supply. Too many lost, left cold in the breeze. Then they mama selling gumbo just to cover the fees. Please flip the corner, cash the equity, that's the creed. But most is crashing out, living life on the speed. In the drop coupe breeze, thick hair like Alicia Keys. Told God, you'll manifest me a queen. Take her out, fill a closet, let her stun on the scene. But I'm cut different, ain't a rapper who outrun my steez.
All right. So let's listen to some of the songs here. Got The Reawakening. Let's see what the lyrics look like here. Written by a ghostwriter with Claude.
My muscles forgot what they're meant to do. The ceiling fan spins in slow motion now, while I gather strength to move. Fingertips press against the mattress, testing if I can hold my way.
Let's see Dawn Fade.
Each morning lighter than before.
So whenever Ghostwriter generates, we have kind of an iterative process of thinking about the concept of a song, ideating about actually the context of the genre you're writing for, because say the lyrics of a drum and bass song are super different than the lyrics of a folk song that might be storytelling. And that process of just trying to get something that actually fits with the music is actually really hard and subtle, and requires a lot of iteration and refinement. So an example of some of the kind of deep editing stuff we can do here. So we can do remixing to create variations, to extend from a certain section, to replace a section, actually to swap the stems, like the vocals and the sound, while keeping the other one the same, and even capturing this idea of a vibe, which is like a short audio snippet that you can then use to prompt instead of text. So you can mix and match these things and just get really deep in your refinement. And then with Ghostwriter, let's say if we were to use a prompt here, or we were to use the lyrics here actually, throw them up, then we could type in here like, add a spoken word intro in French, and just pop that in and start iterating. So yeah, that's the app and the product, and it's a really fun experience, and Claude's definitely the best for this kind of stuff. So yeah, come talk to me, come talk to Henry if you're interested in music, and thanks.
Hey everyone, I'm Dhruv. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Create. We're an AI text-to-app builder that lets anybody build working software products on the internet. And the exciting thing about Create is it's an AI agent that can take in just natural language prompts and go end-to-end on building things. So we got our start in web apps, and Claude is one of the base models that powers a lot of our code writing for the agent. But we're really excited about our new mobile app builder that is for the first time letting people actually build mobile apps. And so today I thought I'd just go ahead and show it off. So I'll switch over to the live demo. And we're in beta, but somebody just actually emailed me an idea a few weeks ago for a family memory app that lets people basically store their memories on their phone, upload their different images, and oops, live demos. Store their different images and get going on building their family memory app. So let me actually go create a new project and type this in and say, make an iOS app for this. And as you type, Create's agent starts getting to work. It's going to start building out all the core pages, as well as the backend functionality for what you need. And so it will also pull in other integrations you might need to use and go ahead and get set up. I am actually going to go ahead and switch to some preloaded things. So the basic idea is you prompt and you're able to actually generate full applications. The cool thing about Create, oh, there we go, it's starting to build a little bit, is that it also comes built in with backends and front ends and everything you kind of need from the database to the actual core auth. And so here it's actually building out my family memories front end. But then in a second, you'll see that it also issues the schemas for the database and goes ahead and deploys a full database and hooks up all the functions needed to talk to this front end. We are really excited about the fact that non-technical users in the hundreds of thousands are starting to pour into Create to actually fully build apps without needing to go to the IDE and truly just work from prompt land. And so one of the biggest things that we've been working on is actually the ability to also fully submit from Create as well. Create, after your app is done, then goes ahead and submits your app straight to the App Store and builds a build for you. There's actually an app we built in a day. You can just in one click publish it and submit to the App Store. And this will go ahead and kick off a build. We actually already got this app in the App Store. So if anyone here wants to download it and play with it, it's an AI app that lets you very quickly take drawings and turn it into AI images called Draw Daily. And then in the beta, the thing that's been the most exciting for us is just seeing all the cool apps that are being created. So we just hosted a demo day. And this is William, and he is making an app to help you memorize meaningful connections and details of people's lives and pull it up. And so you just talk to the app, and it pulls up special information about your contact info and helps you remember anything for sales calls or anything else you want. We also had a student at Berkeley who's building the scholarship app that he's always wanted, where he's constantly filling out grants and unable to kind of do it automatically, and so he's building Scholar GPT. And a lot of these, like the core agent of how they built, we're using prompt caching, tool calling, a lot of the core primitives that Anthropic makes available to actually get them to success. And just to show a few more, Blaze is actually a basketball coach, and for the first time ever, he's using Create to get rid of all of these spreadsheets and drills he does for his coachees. And instead, you build a full player coach app that lets them download drills, put their lesson plan out, and then see animations in the app of how they should be getting used. And then finally, we've also had personal finance apps being created. So like a personal AI money coach for Gen Z with full RAG that also has a Claude-powered assistant that can figure out your monthly income and give you personalized financial recommendations. And so part of what we were most excited about is just the explosion of who and how software will be made when you give people these tools, and very excited to partner with Claude to power all of this. Thank you.